Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tonkatsu Akuma. I guess if I do end up playing the fan disc of this, I'm just gonna say Tonkatsu Akuma FD. If we are going to play that. So far, I am enjoying recording this session quite well. Compared to Rika anyway. Sorry, Rika. No, nothing against people who enjoy Rika, but I think making a playthrough for Rika was not the best idea. I think if I were to play Rika as like some sort of thing that I play once a week or something, maybe it might not be as like annoying to play. But damn, recording an episode of Rika definitely is something very frustrating. Not really all that fun. Frustrating is probably the right word for it. But yeah, you know, as usual, I just came back from the gym about maybe an hour ago. I made some food, so I just ate some lunch and just rest up watching some Dragon Quest III Remake. I'm actually watching Odd One play that for a bit. But yeah, I don't really play games anymore, but it's always fun watching other people play games. But alright, let's actually do the last episode recap, shall we? So in the last episode, we got closer to both you and also Arle. I thought that we were only gonna get close to you because for the last couple of episodes, we've only been doing one like girl each episode. But yesterday, or well, it is yesterday for me, but people on YouTube that aren't members might not see these episodes early, so a couple of days ago for you guys, we actually recorded two girls like on a single episode. You know, getting to know them, being able to get their H scenes and whatnot. So far, I think I'm probably still going for Emmy, is what I said on the last episode, and I do stand by my opinion. Yeah, so far, I said this on Patreon in a post, but my current ranking is like Emmy, Riria, Arle, and also you on the last one. We don't know like at what place Miyabi is at, but I guess we're gonna find out today once we do get her scene. But yeah, Yu talks about her life in like the mountains of Niigata, about how she doesn't really like the coldness and she's a shut-in. I feel like, what's the word? I myself have become a shut-in, or have done like this sort of like shut-in like phase, guys. And I feel like the fact that she's doing this in a comedic manner, I don't know, it doesn't bode well with me. I feel like they really shouldn't do this in like comedy, right? It's a lot more serious than you think. Like when I was doing that, for sure, I was super depressed, right? And I feel like they're doing this a bit too lighthearted. I mean, I get it. It's something like this game in general is probably something lighthearted. You don't really want to think too deeply about it. You just want to have fun. But I'm not the type of person that can do that, guys. I definitely overcomplicate stuff. If I was just doing this to fap, then yes, I wouldn't mind. But when I'm clear, when I have mental clarity and I read stuff like this, it doesn't bode well with me. Which is probably why I don't really like you as much. I feel like she's kind of downplaying how severe the whole shut-in thing actually is. As for Arle, she's kind of like the freak, like, you know, not Ototo, like the freak Kohai, which is underclassmen. And she's alright, nothing special though. So yeah, that's about it. We just took care of some animals with her and then she wanted us to bondage her. So yeah. I guess we're gonna continue after the bondage session with Arlo. Wow, we took a while. It's already sunset. I mutter as I squint at the blazing orange horizon. Oh, sorry about that. I mean, she's probably the most genuine when it comes to like the appreciation that she got when we do get close to her compared to everyone else, or maybe not genuine. Everyone is probably genuine. Is what's the word? I can't pinpoint what the word is or what the feeling is. But I do think that she probably likes us the most, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, based on this reaction, what do you classify this reaction as? The sunset accents how fiercely Arla is blushing now. Maybe more embarrassed, more... So, not really genuine, right? But... You know, that bit of embarrassment, unlike other people so far, it's a fresh sort of experience or fresh... fresh reaction. Everyone else really likes us and they're always, like, not positive, confident about their own feelings. But I feel like Arla is a bit shy about it. So that's kind of nice. I can't get over how cute this girl is. That is, cute yet forward, as she just proved to me. What the hell did I just do to my junior? I seriously just tied her to a fence and went to town on her with my finger and tongue. Sure, she obviously enjoyed the encounter, but how could I do that to her? Well, you were kinda horny, Ren. I agonize over this with my head in my hands for a moment before looking at the sunset and heaving a deep sigh. Arla, seeing this, lets out a quiet giggle. She tugs slightly at the hem of my uniform shirt. Probably not, Arla. I'm kinda leaning towards Emmy once again. Arla looks up at my face with a bashful smile. There's a layer of defense missing in her demeanor. It seems we've just grown that much closer. I couldn't possibly say no to that face. If I'm good enough, then I'll be happy to. I forget that I was even fretting over what we just did and comply anyway. I feel Arla's body press against mine as she wraps her arms around my forearm and leans against me. Suddenly, I feel very happy that I got a chance to fondle that chest. Whatever you say, Ren, at least you're true to your desires. I pinch my cheek in a moment of self-scolding and walk home with Arla at my side. Sure, you're a good girl. Alright, Tama-chan, what sort of stupidity are you up to today? Are you drunk? Why is Tama-chan freaking out this early in the morning? She's even started chanting in Chinese now. No, that's not Chinese! I don't know what the, Japanese is saying here, but definitely something they localize here. Well, I wouldn't go so far as calling her that. I don't drink beer, or, by the way guys, I think I said this, but I don't like the taste of beer, and the fact that they have low alcohol content, you need to drink so much of it to get intoxicated. That's why I drink, like, shots. Because I like the feeling of tipsiness, but I really don't like drinking, the act of drinking itself. But at least school's not in today. That's fortunate. Though I guess I also don't really need to care for the same reason. That said, the noise alone is still a nuisance. I mean, I guess in a very crowded space in Japan, in an apartment where the walls aren't really that thick, you probably would hear neighbors complain about you. Sort of like how I would definitely complain when my neighbor is using the grinder to do something. I don't even know what he's doing, man. I don't think he's working on anything.
返り討ちにしてやるのですよ。まあもっともこのポンコツな寮にそんな輩がいるわけないのですがね。
Oh, it's Reika-san. Impeccable timing. And what the hell are you doing with your shirt? She's wearing a magnificent grin. I don't think she always does that, right? She usually buttons her shirt way up. And indeed, her timing could not have been more perfect. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. I actually double tap my enter the keyboard.
ポンコツの教育なんて忘れて一生ここで派手に暮らしてやるのです。
ほう、職務をぶん投げてこの寮に入れると思ってるとは。さすがはタマだな。緑虫並みの脳みそしかないんじゃないのかお前。
おかしいですね。ちょっと理事長の幻覚が。これは朝から少し飲みすぎてしまったのかもしれないのですよ。ゴシゴシゴシ。
よ。
ゴシゴシゴシ。
よ。
Uh-oh. Reika-san's smile just took a turn down lunatic murderer street. This must be how it feels to look a serial killer in the eye. Tama-chan does a quadruple take. Sorry, Tama-chan. This is reality. You won't wake up from this.
理事長、これは誤解なのですよ。
そうかそうか。誤解ならしょうがない。で、てめえの血は何色だ？
タマちゃんがまるで壊れたローターみたいに。
Emmy, do you even have one of those?
いや、イメージだけど。
よしてめえら、そこに正座で一列に並べ。
私たちも？
連帯責任だバカ野郎。
Why?
そんな。なんて横暴。とんだ災難ね、これは。
Whenever she's around, you've got to be prepared for her to do something like this. An unspoken rule of the dorm is to treat Reika-san's visits as a natural disaster. We line up obediently at her feet, without delay.
とりあえず、石10キロから行ってみるか。
ちょっと待ってほしいのですよ、学園長。
It's not very easy to find a freaking 10-kilo rock. It's not that easy. It's not like they're lying anywhere.
そんな墓石みたいなのをタマの華奢な足の上に乗せたら。にゃほー！ぐやわー！
おう、いい声で泣きよるわ。お前らも度が過ぎたらこうなるって覚悟しとけよ。
これ以上の罪はおもろろら。
Reika-san's sermon, which is mostly to Tama-chan, continues for a short while. Well, I guess she's not really punishing us. She's just making us listen to or watching what she's doing to Tama-chan, which is, I guess, a good lesson. I was gonna be like, that's so unfair.
たく、ポンコツたちの進歩を確認しに来てみれば。お前たち、全然進歩してねえじゃねえか。
進歩ダメです。
Maybe you should be the one that tries to change these girls, Reika-san, and not me.
だってお兄ちゃん。
What? What? Emmy, now's not the time for your relentlessly inappropriate jokes. Lest we fall victim to the same punishment as Tama-chan.
進歩って言っても、そこそこは頑張ってるよ。ねえ、レン君。
Feel free to stop grabbing at my nether regions anytime. Alright, Ruria has had a habit of special training in the X-rated department. And if I were to stretch the meaning of the word to the limit, Emmy and Arlev have had some in a sense. Yeah, I haven't done a damn thing as an assistant supervisor, have I? I hold my tongue as they plead and simply nod.
いいかお前ら。その調子じゃパリピーことタマみたいに立派な魔族になれねえからな。なあタマ、領館の立派な背中を見せてるんだろ。
いえいえ、そんな。自分は石ころのような存在ですから。はい。自分、石ころですから。気軽に石ころとでも呼んでください。石ころ。お前に呼ばれる筋合いはないのですよ、このチャリ娘が。
タマ、うるさい。
はっ、石ころの玉はたまるのであります。石ころの玉は理事長のような立派な魔族には到底及ばなくて申し訳ないのです。
Man, I wish Tama would just shut the fuck up. Actually shut the fuck up, yeah, just like what Rika-san said. Tama prostrates herself, curling into a round shape, not unlike the pebble she's apparently become. She's so annoying, man. It's hard to dislike a woman who lacks any sort of haughtiness, or pride for that matter. It's hard to dislike? What? What? What do you mean it's hard to dislike? Hold on, now that we're on the topic, Rika-san, are you a demon as well? She's probably a succubus too, Ren.
はあ、今さら何を言ってんの？リリアがサキュバスだって分かってんなら、私も必然的にそうだろう。それに、どっからどう見てもサキュバスじゃないわ。
She gives her voluptuous body an enchanting little shake to drive the point home. Now that she said it, I realize that she is indeed sexier than, well, physically possible for a normal human. So the scum standard on succubi then, I see. It makes sense considering that Ruria's body is on the same tier of sexiness. In a few years, Ruria could be rocking that sexual powerhouse figure too.
むしろお前、ガチで知らなかったのか
？Is this really a sexy body? I just see her as fat, man. Sorry, guys. I like my girls thin. And people with big boobs, I really just see them as fat.
ちょっと考えてみればわかることだろう。
Well, I mean, I totally understand it now that you mention it. Thoughts on Reika-san never really lingered in my head until now. It seems so obvious now that I've actually devoted a moment to consider it. On that note, somebody mentioned that demons and normal humans can get married.
それはうちの旦那が魔族かもってことか？うちの旦那はレンの両親と同じで純粋な人だよ。お前の両親と一緒に人間界側の魔界大使をやってる。
Oh, okay. I heard a bit about that from Emmy earlier. She mentioned at some point that her parents do that kind of work. Spending all that time on the other side is the main reason that they don't show their faces at home much. So her husband must be around about as often as well. Apparently, they've been married like this for quite a long time. And if I were to presume, that also indicates how healthy their relationship is. To stay together despite being apart.
仕事柄とはいえ、全然家に帰ってきやしないけどな。
Is it really healthy when there's actually scenes where we bang this chick, Ren? Is it really healthy?
パパの顔を見たのっていつが最後だったかな。
もうあんなやつの顔なんて忘れた。うちにだって入れてやらねえ。
Yeah, there's probably an Oyakodon scene in this game. If you guys don't know what that means, it means mother-daughter, like, you know, H scene. Well, not always mother-daughter, but like, well, I guess it is. Like parent and child, I guess, Oyako.
もうママったらそうやってすぐツンデレになるんだから。
うるせえ、しばくぞ。
He and I both have a lot to deal with, at work and otherwise. Well, I suppose Reika-san must have it harder than either of us. She's been taking care of us three for all these years, after all. No doubt it'd be exhausting to run a household and take care of us without her husband around.
普通の人でも大使さんだからレイカさんと出会いがあったんですね。
まあそうだな。私は向こうで教師をやってたんだが、知っての通りの交換留学制度でこっちの学園を任されることになってな。その時のやりとりで出会ったのがきっかけだ。
普通の職場恋愛だったんですね。意外っちゃ意外。
まあ私のことはいいんだ。あいつらがレンも将来は大使の仕事に就かせたいって言ってたからな。レンもいろいろと魔界のことは知ってるもんだと思ってたぞ。
Well, this is the first time I've heard any of that for certain. I can hardly believe that there's any calling for me in the field that I pretty much just learned of. And wait a minute, what makes them think I could even do such a job? I'm not even that well versed in the world I live in. How could I handle a second one on top of that?
初耳でも大した問題ではないだろう。
It's all about connections, Randon. People actually don't really care too much about your own distinguishing skills. It's more about connections. Because your dad already have connections in the upper department of being an ambassador, it's probably easy to make you into another ambassador.
成績がかなり良くないと大使にはなれねえからな。
Yeah, I call bullshit. Then I guess my future is set in stone, isn't it?
あ？石ころ2号がなんか言ってんな。
くすくす。レンちゃん、石ころとか言われてるのですよ。
Come again, number one.
石ころ2号。
It cuts kinda deep when you say it. It's true that my grades aren't exactly top notch. Having to admit how average I am just makes me feel dull.
まあ最低でも英語がペラペラじゃねえとな。
So English is the standard operating language in the demon realm. Aha, it's global. The official language of the crew is Starship Earth.
レンは魔界への理解がなさすぎる。この寮にいる身としてももっと勉強しておかないとな。よし、せっかくの機会だからいろいろと教えてやろう。
教えて、リベート先
What's that a reference of?
生。どんどんパフパフ。
So Reika-san's birth name is Rivetta. Rivetta? I guess that's her maiden name? I don't think I've had the chance to actually ask her under normal circumstances. But Reika-san herself doesn't seem to care, so whatever. I won't worry about it. Figuring that she might stay a while, I go ahead and make tea for everyone.
魔界っていうのは基本的に人間界とそうは変わらない。LTE の電波だって無料の Wi-Fi だってあちこちに飛んでいる。リンゴ社が新作を発売すればそれを求めるために行列ができるのも変わらない。
Uh-huh. So even demons are prone to consumer fads then. It's demon definition time with Reika, Rivetta Sensei. The fact that the two worlds are mostly identical has already been said. But the bare facts she's saying are still new to me, so I'm still interested. Okay, so we've established that our worlds aren't much different. Let's now focus on the differences that do exist. What are they?
生活における文化の違いはほとんどないと考えてる。だけど娯楽に関する文化が致命的に違いすぎる。
Lethal?
漫画とかゲーム、アニメなんかがわかりやすい例だな。
ああ、ユーモアがあるというか、かなりのブラックジョークっていうかね。
What? So dark humor?
小さい頃に読んでた絵本とか、今考えると結構ひどかったりしますからね。
Awful stuff in picture books. What exactly do you mean? It's a simple enough question to ask of everyone, now that they're all in demon mode.
代表例としては、そうだな。ピーチ太郎。
こっちでいう桃太郎だね。
Okay, that's just plain plagiarism.
おじいさんは山へ芝刈りに。芝刈りの後は川へ洗濯に行かされました。
Oh wow, this is already getting cruel. I think in Momotaro you actually find a peach in the river, or was it the beach, and then you got sent into this, you know, like underwater castle thing, and then after you got back, you were also given like a box, and then after he opened it, he became old or something, because after he come back, he realized he actually has left for a couple hundred years.
川へ洗濯へ行く途中、村の若者に芝刈り。最終的におじいさんは鬼退治に行きました。
Wow, this is already kind of sad. This old man just lives his life getting stepped on and beaten. Are they not repulsed by elder abuse in their world? Getting old must be terrifying over there.
そう。鬼という名のおばあさんを退治にな。
Is that what you people call old ladies? An automatic retort escapes my mouth once again.
相当な鬼嫁だったんだね。千葉まで狩らせて洗濯までさせる鬼の所業です。そりゃあ退治されても仕方がないって思ってたよね。稚魚姫なんて話もあったよね。そういえば。
I guess that's the Little Mermaid. The little what now?
人魚姫のものすごくミニマム版かな。通称ロリ人魚姫。
I don't see how that's comparable to morbid humor. It's just a version of the story written by a person with weird fetishes. Although in a way, that title does seem sufficiently grim. Although ultra minimalist makes me think it's about plankton rather than anything human-sized.
そういえば、若いってこっちほどロリに厳しくないよね。
I mean, it's not really that frowned upon in this world too, at least in Japan. But I guess globally it is kind of frowned upon.
一部の大人に優しい世界。
Wait, do the differences between our worlds get that specific? Not that I have any such interests, I should note. I think, pretty sure I don't. I'm not attracted to Tama-chan at all, so there's my proof.
特に性のことには寛容だね。こっちよりもずっと。モザイクなんかもないからな。
Oh, like in America. Now I'm a little jealous. I mean, I kinda actually prefer if I watch porn that there's mosaics. You guys actually don't want to see just how badly disfigured those pussies are, guys. As any normal high schooler would be about that, I'm just like the other guys.
お兄ちゃんになら、私のをいつでももだなしで見せてあげるよ。
Yes, reality. Yes, Emmy, yes. Okay, enough of that. Good girls don't talk like that, got it? I chide Emmy for using the conversation topic to harass me.
だいたい日本は変なところで厳しすぎるんだよな。おかげでうちのバカ娘はこんな感じに育ってしまった感が否めない。
それは関係ないもん。私は生まれつき純情なんだもん。ヒギ、魔界 AV の術。いやー、見
まあ、うちのバカ娘のことは置いといてだ。これまで散々魔界娯楽を嘲笑してきたが、中には当然こっちよりもいいものもある。
Oh? Like what?
魔界名作劇場、ハクビシンラスカ。
Now it just sounds like you're messing with me. That's just a flick about vermin. Though ironically, it does make me want to see it.
タヌキの父とイタチの母を持つチベットスナギツネの物語なんだよね。
So it's not about a civet at all. I don't even know what the fuck is a civet. Raccoons don't even have the same fur patterns.
最終回にチベットスナギツネと主人公がルーベンスの絵の前で息を引き取るシーンは有名だな。
あのシーンは何度見ても泣けます。動物ものは本当に卑怯ですよね。
I get the feeling we've gone off track. All I hear is random, obscure, vaguely lowbrow references. But it sounds so outlandish that I kind of want to see it now. Not me.
スーパームリオワールドってゲームもあった。
Super Mario World, huh?
難易度無理ゲーの鬼畜横スク。
The name alone paints the whole picture for me.
クソゲーだけど意外とハマる。
I want to give that a try if I ever get the chance. I don't think Mario World is considered a kusoge. I rather like games like that. Some of the same way people like the horror genre.
私が小さい頃はゲーム機なんかなかったんだぞ。やることもねえし、みんな健康的に外を走り回ってたわ。
I mean, to some degree, I kind of agree with that way of thinking, Rika-san.
懐かしいな。あの頃は万博やオリンピックに思いを馳せたっけか。
But then again, even without video games, I think people who are natural loners would be loners in the first place. And games actually make life a bit easier for them. So there are Olympics and World Expo events for demons soon. Huh. I refrain from trying to calculate Rika-san's age from that comment. In truth, I'm far more interested in knowing that than any demon trivia she has to offer. Probably about 40 or something. Who cares? She still looks pretty decent. Anyway, the bottom line is that the two worlds aren't that different, right?
レン君もこれで人間界の大使だね。あとの問題は成績が足りないことだけだし。
お、ナイスな魔界ジョークだね。
I could do with fewer jokes that sap at my conscience, thank you very much. I've heard more than enough about their world for today. We've been at it for hours. Yet I feel like I haven't learned much more than I knew when we started. All I have now is a useless pool of demon trivia in my head. The one thing they kept mentioning is how wholly similar our two worlds are.
ま、いろいろと話をしたが、レンもそろそろ将来のことを考え始めてもいいかもな。
True, true. I'm 27, I should also be thinking about my future. Though, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing right now. Why is this a point of discussion now? But then again, like, when you're in high school, you don't have money, right? You probably don't even have any savings unless your parents are rich and they save for you. And you can probably start a business from their savings. But I already worked for a couple of years and I have enough savings for a decent chunk. Reika-san suddenly draws close, but face in front of mine. Nothing like luxurious, you know? I don't think I've mentioned this, but I am basically, not working right now. What do you call not working people in English? Not a freelance. Forgot what you call that in English. She leans toward my ear, but yeah, I got enough decent savings after working for a couple of years, and I'm not really someone who's very spendful. I don't really spend a lot of money, so a lot of my money actually went to the bank, and I just live off of savings and deposits and, you know, like daily trading. And then whispering so the others won't hear.
仕事、就職のことを考えると、もっと魔界のことを勉強しなくちゃいけないだろ?
I still haven't decided to become an ambassador.
いや、人生のパートナー関係のことでもあるって話だ。この量の領館補佐をやってるってことは、そういう可能性もなきにしもあらず。
One of these days, man, one of these days, there's gonna be a game where the MC, the main, like, route of a game is actually to not choose a girl. Because after like playing these sort of games, these GAL games for a long time, I start to realize that you don't need a partner to have an enjoyable and happy life. I feel like sometimes they're actually a lot more trouble than they're worth. That's just my reality talking here, but I do think it would be very interesting to have that sort of game at some point. I know that people play these games to live the fantasy that they have girlfriends, but it would be a very interesting story to actually make a story about how the MC is living a harem life, but he actually denies the harem itself. I think that would be pretty damn interesting. Rika-san makes eye contact, as if drilling the question into me. What possibility?
嫁が魔族なら、もっともっと魔界を知らなくちゃってこった。
She lets out a chuckle as if she were toying with me. I get the feeling that Reika-san knows exactly what I've done with the other girls since we came here. Or rather, what they've been doing to me. But I suppose the chance that I'll start dating one of the girls here is not zero, I guess. Maybe, maybe not.
何もすぐに何がどうなるって話じゃない。ただ、人生何があるかわからないからな。私の旦那みたいに。
I know she has more experience in life than I can argue with, so I stay silent. I have to admit, airhead or not, every girl here is plenty attractive in more ways than one. Her personalities aren't really that attractive though, Ren. And we've all shared a few eventful moments already.
ま、人生のパートナーから教えてもらえることは多いからな。だから、私みたいないい女を選べってことだ。私みたいないい女をだ。
Reika-san?
張り倒すぞてめえら。
あるのです。ワンチャンあるのですよ、学園長。
黙ってろ石ころ。
Reiko-san discards the Pebble's failed attempts at flattery in an instant. What a perfect picture of how vertical hierarchy works. I do my best to keep from looking directly at Reiko-san for the rest of the night. At any rate, my future. What's going to become of me? How will my relationship with these girls turn out in the end? Honestly, any thought about Reiko-san's words is simply too deep for me to handle right now. There is one thing I can say though. Life with everyone right now is crazy fun. I want to put as much energy as I can into enjoying my time here. See, here's the thing too, guys. Sometimes fun is not the only thing that you should strive for when it comes to life. You should definitely understand how hard, you know, like how hard of an effort you need to do. Like that's what I realized when I went to the gym. Not the first time, but as I go for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, now I'm on my 4th year, I start to realize that if like people, training is hard, guys. Like training at the gym is very hard, and training, I assume, for any sort of sports is also very difficult. And you need that sort of mentality when it comes to life, is what I feel. Everyone should experience this sort of mentality. But sadly, not a lot of people actually experience this mentality because they never push themselves that hard. That's what I truly feel about a lot of people. Specifically, my time spent with the girls here. That resolution is the one good thing I can confidently say I accomplished today. There's nothing wrong with pursuing fun and happiness. But if that's all that you're pursuing, then you're definitely missing out on a lot of things in life. That's not all life is what I'm trying to say.
Miyabi-senpai, おはようございます。
おはようございます。
やあやあ、おはようおはよう。Miyabi-senpaiの朝は相変わらずだね。
Yup, same old entourage. She's surrounded by a clamoring throng the moment she arrives, just like any other morning. That's not including the large number of people who just stand silently as they watch her pass them.
一緒に生活して少し慣れちゃってますけど、学園内では有名な人ですしね。あれが芸能人の有名税ってやつですよね。はあ、芸能人だからってだけでキャーキャー言うミーハーとかほんと嫌い。ああいう連中に限ってすぐ手のひら返すんだから。
めっちゃ同意。色眼鏡は迷惑。
Who cares? That's legit what my thought is. Who cares? If she's popular and she has lots of groupies, who cares? How does that actually affect any of you guys? It doesn't affect you guys.
引きこもりはオタとか、パソコンやってるとオタとか。
People have actually told you that? You must have suffered the same treatment back home. And Amy must have first-hand experience with annoying fan clubs. That idea raises a point of concern for me as her brother.
先輩、
なんだい？
手紙を書いてきたんですけど、受け取ってもらえませんでしょうか？
手紙って、あの緊張した様子、乙女チックな可愛い封筒。もしやあれは伝説の。来たよ、乙女センサーにビビッと来たよ。こんなところで抱いたんですね。こっちがドキドキしてきちゃいますよ。
Hey girls, cut it out. You're staring. I grab their collars before they start leaning in and pull them back. I'll never understand why girls are so fascinated by these things all the time.
あらあら、朝っぱらから随分と盛ってる子がいるのね。
Same, Ren. I don't understand anything about these.
そういうのは陰で隠れてやるもんでしょうに。
今時古風だね。あんな告白なんて。わざわざ黒歴史を残したいなんて。都会人は怖い怖い。
Clearly, you two are on the opposite team. Modern girls' opinions on this sure fit into a wide spectrum.
てか、二人とも女の子ですよね。レイ先輩、女の子と女の子でどうやってパイルダウンするんですか？
Don't ask me, Ren. Yeah, go Google it. And stick to the wholesome sites. Avoid looking at the 18 and up stuff. I answer as quickly as possible to keep Rinchan from shouting any more than that. Any more about that. Rinchan is too oblivious to be a part of conversations like this.
ああ、うん。私が未熟なばかりに恋の病の患者を増やしてしまったようだね。これでは皆を救う薬剤師を志す者としてあまりに未熟。私に抱いてくれた好意は嬉しいが、君にはもっと幸せになれる道がある。さあ、これが恋の処方箋だ。人間の世界へ帰りなさい。
は
Miyabi-senpai pulls out something from her pocket and places it gently in the girl's hand. I managed to catch a glimpse of the wrapper. It's just sugar-free gum. The same stuff I saw on the table back at the dorm.
じゃあね、また来世で会おう。アディオス。
あ、失礼します。かっこいい。さすがはみやび先輩。なんて綺麗。少女漫画みたいですね。
I think she actually took it from a shoujo manga. Wait, did that seem even remotely feminine to you? All I saw there was a bad case of delusions. Once of grandeur even. I mean, it's Miyabi-senpai, and as the girl said, her words did have a cool ring to them.
夢見れる年頃っていいわね。
全くその通りで羨ましい。
処方箋って何ですか？ほうれい線の仲間？
Sure, we'll go with that. These three responded in pretty much the exact way that I'd expect. I actually thought she gave her, like, some sort of amnesiac medicine. For a sec. So was what that girl gave you this morning a love letter? There we go.
ああ、見られてたのか。恥ずかしいな。
It's just after lunch, and we're back in the infirmary. I was passing by and noticed she was inside, so I thought it was a good time to ask her about that.
いや、まあ、ちょいちょいあるんだよ。昔からさ。雑誌に載るくらい大したことでもなんでもないのにね。
If you ask me, I'd say that's a pretty big deal. That is a pretty big deal. I say that as I sip on the tea she gave me.
そもそも私も知り合いに頼まれてるだけだから。好きでやってるわけでもないし、ファンって言われるのは苦手なんだ。
I mean, I can kind of understand that. Back when I was like streaming for a while, people actually see me as like, you know, someone that's not really approachable as a person. Even though I only just want to have fun, right? And I just want to talk to people as people. It's kind of weird, right? The whole social media thing and like, it's very weird, as I say, yeah. Like, I always consider people that are watching my videos as like normal human beings, not really fans, right? But I guess this only applies for people that are like super popular, I suppose. Not people who are, you know, like me. But it's definitely something that I don't understand, the fact that you can be a fan of something. It's not like people are avoid of criticism, right?
経験上ピエロになって返事するのが一番楽でさ。
Huh. So that's why you acted like that. I nod and quietly sip some more tea. With her looks, having a fan club seems inevitable. Though now that we live in the same place, as Arliss said this morning, I've more or less grown used to how pretty she is. Until I look closely like I am now. She really is beautiful. She's the kind of person the modeling business was invented for. Man, I feel like Ren actually does compliment Miyabi-senpai a lot more, so if I wasn't actually Ren and I don't have my own person, I feel like Ren would probably choose Miyabi as his first route. And she has such a clean-cut, dignified personality in public. The word cool is an accurate description for her. And what's inside, well, not all of it is exactly admirable. But personality flaws don't show up in pictures. Good for her.
行為自体はもちろん嬉しいけど、写真の私しか知らない子に言われてもね。 それにあんまり恋愛とか疎くてよくわからないんだ。情けないことに。
Were you not popular before you debuted in those magazines?
まあバレンタインデーから1ヶ月くらいはチョコレートに困ったことはないかな。女の子ばっかりだし本気でモテてるわけじゃないと思うけどね。モデル仲間の間じゃよくあることだって聞いたしさ。
It sounds like a pretty limited community to me. I imagine she heard this mostly from other models she met while working. Miyabi-senpai herself has a tendency to do things at her own pace. Maybe it's the fact that guys are actually more afraid of her because she's way too popular, so they think that she's out of their league.
だから君みたいにあっちの私を知らない子の方が楽なんだよ。レンは魔界のことを知っても私の夢を聞いても何も変わらなかったしね。あんなことがあっても変わらないでいてくれるし。
Her face turns red and she buries her face in her tea. That one weird night. You didn't have to show this! I'm gonna have to black that out for YouTube. That. What a reaction to her own memory. With everything that happened after that, I'd actually forgotten about it. The image of Miyabi-senpai's breasts float to the front of my mind. She has a good pair on her. Yes, sirree! I think hers are probably the best shape, yes. The best size. Wait, no. This isn't the time to reminisce on my X-rated adventures. Something's got her fidgeting in her seat as well. Maybe that's been weighing more heavily on her mind than I thought. It's kinda cute. I mean, she's plenty charming anyway. But now I'm not sure how to break the silence.
やっぱりここにいた。
探したよ。お昼に教室に来てって言ったのに。
A pair of girls in basketball uniforms trots into the room.
あ、ごめん。全然時計見てなかった。週末の試合の話だよね。ほんとごめん。
まあ急ぎじゃないからいいんだけどね。
その分、助っ人ば。
Sorry about that. Accidentally pressed control again. God damn it.
バックログだよ。
This is why I wish I have a smaller keyboard. So she was here. It's not like it's that urgent. It's okay. I was going to ask if you're still going to help us with that. Of course, I'm happy to do what I can. You with them? Sorry, do you mind? I have to go with them for practice and planning meeting for practice. She puts her hands together to double down on her apology. So you go to help the sports clubs on top of working with a school nurse.
そう。私は頭使うよりも体を動かす方が得意だからね。それじゃあまた後で。
I mean, you do look pretty athletic. You're pretty thin and fit looking.
何あの子、みやびのお気に入り？男の子とあんな仲良さそうに話してるの珍しいじゃん。
また後でってなんか意味深だったよね。焼くな焼くな。そんなことよりやるからには勝つぞ。
あ、ごまかした。怪しすぎる。
まあゆっくり聞かせてもらうし。ないない。君らが期待しているようなのは何もないよ。
The girls' voices trail off down the hallway. Into me, huh? She did say she finds me easier to talk to. At any rate, it's good to see that she gets along so well with other girls her age. I'm sure it's pretty much the same for girls above or below her age. And boys too, I guess. She gives a solid impression of someone who gets along with everyone. I said where she left me in the infirmary and stew on my thoughts of her. At the very least, I know she doesn't dislike me. I remind myself to be satisfied with that and not get too presumptuous. I finish nursing my tea. Then I pour out what was left of hers and wash off our mugs. Once I finish putting things back to where they were, I walk back to my classroom. She seems pretty normal so far, but I have no doubt that, considering this is this type of game, she's gotta be a freak too. I feel refreshed. The bath here is downright fantastic. But I guess that comes standard with a top quality cottage complex. Time for a nice after bath drink.
しげる、私を励まして。
負けるな、もう少し。
Senpai, what are you doing? You look like a sad old drunk crying on the bar counter.
お、風呂上がり系男子かい？セクシーだね。私は今とても憂鬱な気分でさ、しげるの歌声を聞いてもっと憂鬱になってたところさね。
Then why are you there?
心はそばにいたりするわ。
If he makes you sadder, why would you make him keep singing?
まあ気分だよ、気分。そういう時もあるでしょ。
When you're sad, you just want to be sadder, I guess? I kind of understand that a tiny bit. I guess. Like, you actually don't want people to encourage you and make you be happy. You just want to keep drowning in your sadness. I kind of get that. I walk behind her and head toward the refrigerator. You want a drink too, senpai?
いらない。こんなポンコツ魔女なんてお構いなく。
It sounds rather serious. I didn't know she would be prone to moods like this. I mean, there's something endearing about it, but it can't continue.
ほら、しげる。たーんと食べ。
He takes out a bag labeled Shigeru Chow and dumps the contents into his jar. Shigeru's cries of anguish fill the living room. There was enough in her bag to completely submerge him in the jar. Do sprites like him need to breathe? Well, she knows best as his owner. He's probably fine, I hope. So, what's up? What's got you sitting at rock bottom? Something happened with the black basketball team?
にゃ、それは何もないよ。そうなんだよ。運動だったら何の問題もないんだよ。なんで私はこう、脳筋キャラになってしまったのか。
Idiot savant? So the problem is something academic then.
That's left.
You mean that's right, don't you?
今のはいいタイミングな。どうだい？私と漫才師でも目指さないかい？
Let's not run away from reality now. If it's a big problem, why not talk about it? What's wrong? I pull out a chair next to her and ask for more details.
いやはや、参ったことに強烈な追試をもらってしまってね。
It's not that bad. A makeup test. Don't you usually go to school before us to have some study time? You've been taking tests in that time? I thought she was spending a lot of time studying in the infirmary. I remember her saying something along those lines when we first met anyway.
そうなんだけど、私は個人的に補習も受けててさ。それで追試もらっちゃって参ってるわけさね。
And if you were in my school, you wouldn't have those makeup tests. You're not gonna be... You're not gonna go to the next grade, Miyabi, in my school. You're gonna drop out. One-on-one remedial lesson, she says. Are her grades seriously that bad?
まあ追試なんてぶっちゃけ日常茶飯事なわけだけどさ。今度は次で合格しないと親に連絡するって言うんだよ。親は関係ないじゃないか、親は。またバカにされる。
She heaves another sigh and falls even deeper into her slump. If you were in my school, they wouldn't call your parents. They just drop you out, Miyabi. You're lucky that they're actually doing something to actually help you. I fail to see how having to do makeup tests all the time is somehow okay. Not to be blunt or anything, but are you just not good at studying?
大正解。
What's with that proud face? At least she makes it look cool. I can probably chalk that up to her modeling experience. Well, as far as I know, being a pharmacist in the human world means having to meet some pretty tough standards.
もちろん魔界だって命に関わる仕事だから難しい資格のうちの一つだよ。
Okay, so that means you've got a tough road ahead of you.
困るでしょ。
And down she goes again. She seems so striking, so admirable the first time she told me about her dream. Who'd have thought such a simple thing could be such a high hurdle for her? Considering it from her point of view, though, it kind of makes sense.
ほら、私って趣味で調合とかするじゃない。あれは薬剤師の両親の見よう見まねで始めたことなんだけどさ、割と大雑把にやっちゃうわけよ。ザザーって。
Eyeballing. Okay. She waves her arm around like she's throwing salt around a sumo ring. I don't know if it still counts as eyeballing in that scale. That's not how it works when I do it in the kitchen. Something tells me that making medicine shouldn't work that way either.
あの辺りから絶対に娘に人の命を扱わせてはならないって言われててさ、試験に合格することはまずないって安心されてるらしいんだけど、家を継ぎたいって思うのにままならないものだね。
Yeah, I can see why it'd be difficult. I opt to just agree with whatever she says for now. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say at the moment anyway. But now I know why she's in such a gloomy mood. Cheering her up would be a superhuman feat right now.
魔女の家系はみんな出来がいいのにな。なんで私はこうもバカなんだろうな。もしかして私ってヒロイ語なんじゃ。
Maybe.
なわけないんだけどさ。
She's starting to break. What a sharp contrast with her suave demeanor this morning. Now she's just wallowing in despair and drawing a spiral on the table with her finger. I actually find this kind of endearing too. No. I don't, no, I don't understand that, Ren.
なんだよ、笑うなよ。私だって悩むことくらいあるさね。むしろ悩みの方が多いくらいだよ。うじうじうじって。
Crawling with them. That's a weird way to put it. Though it does paint a pretty expressive picture of how she feels.
小さい頃は魔女ってだけで魔法少女扱いされたり、宅急便扱いされたりね。前も言ったけど、給食当番の時はもちろん鍋かき回す役を期待されるし、キューベイが家にいると思われてるし、全年齢でもエッチー魔女審判ゲームとか出るし。
She actually said Cube. That's from Madoka. So dumb.
ほんと、魔女の名誉毀損だよ。まったくもう。
Why did that say Luna? What even is Luna like a reference for? You've suffered a lot more than you let on. So despite all their differences, our worlds still share the same issues of prejudice and the like. Wait, half of our problems stem from our upbringing as a witch? Our issues are much more concentrated than I expected. But I have to say, you've shown me a lot of your cute points since we met. Not too long ago, I always thought you were too perfect, way out of my league. But after hearing you tonight, I feel like we're not so far apart after all.
年上に向かって可愛いとかバカにするね。
I think that's what they want you to feel though, Ren. If someone is too perfect, then yeah, it's very much impossible to approach them. Which, those sort of people actually exist in my high school back in the day. She raises her eyebrows and the corners of her mouth sharpen. I guess what they're trying to say, the moral message of this game is like, you know, maybe during my high school days, that sort of perfect person is also like this on the inside. Maybe that's what they're trying to say as the moral message. Which I can't deny might be true. Like, I say that, you know, like when I was in high school, there was like a perfect person that I never approached. Well, scratch that. I actually did approach them and we were friends, but not really all that close. But yeah, I still think that they're kind of a perfectionist though. They don't really they don't really show their problems to other people. Yup, that's cute too. And she seems oblivious to this fact. Maybe she's just naturally airheaded. It's kind of a pleasant feeling knowing that I've been a bit of what she's... Knowing that I've seen a bit of what she's truly like. I don't know much about becoming a pharmacist, but I understand how important helping other people is to you.
どうしたの急に。
It is? How do we know that? Doesn't seem like she's actually doing this to help people. She said she was just imitating her errands because she wants to be a witch. She turns her head to look right at me, puzzled. Well, I just get the feeling that you would help someone in a heartbeat if they needed it. You have, you know, just that kind of positive, go-getter attitude. I think that's why everyone seems to rely on you all the time. I don't really have a lot of experience to base that on, but it's just the kind of impression you give. You're just the sort of person who they can depend on. That's all, really. Yeah, if I was in Ren's shoes, I would never say that to this girl. I'd be like, whatever. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about other people, guys. That's because I don't actually compliment people a lot. If I do compliment someone, it's definitely from my heart. But I rarely compliment people. I feel like someone like Ren, he actually compliments people way too much that sometimes it's actually not from his heart. Her eyes widen in surprise, and then she squints with suspicion. Yeah, good job on you for picking that, Miyabi. Don't trust what other people say willy-nilly. I like that. I'm actually liking your personality a lot more for being skeptical about Ren. Not in the slightest. You have to be so negative about it? Do I seem like the type to belittle you like that? No, but it seems like you're the type of person that would actually say what people want to hear instead of what they need to hear, Ren. Hey, you know I wouldn't do that. She grins, revealing that she was just teasing me. Her expression turns kind and gentle. I kinda disagree with that. If it's a lie, you shouldn't be glad about that. She closes her eyes as if to put the issue aside. That action's followed by a long, deep breath. All the energy she seemed to have lost flows back into her face. Yeah, which is something I'm not very good at. Though then again, I don't really try to lift people's spirits up in the first place. I don't really care too much whether or not people actually, you know, are spirited. I'm one of those guys that are really like an asshole, guys. If you don't frontally ask me for help, I'm not gonna help you even though I know you need help. I'm one of those people. I just said what was on my mind. She reaches out and pats my head. Same lightly patronizing Miyabi-senpai as always. This is the one I'm used to. I nod to myself inwardly and let her continue. Feels nice. I watch Miyabi-senpai from behind as she walks confidently back to her room. I guess the important part is that she's got her energy back. I'm rather pleased that I was able to cheer her up again, however awkwardly. I guess I'll head back to my room too. You good, Shigeru? Shigeru! Hang in there, little guy! Shigeru is dangerously close to asphyxiating in there. I hope I'm saying that right. I learned something today. His kind does, in fact, breathe air. One demon mystery down, a billion to go. Kinda like that scene with Miyabi. I do think that Ren, as a main character, is actually a bit too unrealistic. A person like Ren doesn't exist in real life, in my opinion. Someone who just, what's the word? Who's very, mindful of his surroundings, I guess. The weekend has arrived. Someone who thinks about other people more than himself. I really don't believe those type of people. Those are the type of people that I trust the least in this world. People that actually are more mindful of other people than themselves. Maybe it's because of my own nature of a coward, of someone who's very individualistic, who's very driven about my own values. But those type of people, I just don't understand them. And it's understandable, right? When you don't understand something, you're very cautious of them, right? Miyabi-senpai, it's me, Ren. I knock on her door and call out to her. She summoned me to her room for some reason.
今手が離せないから入っちゃって。いや、早かったね。
Senpai walks over to greet me in full witch garb. Well, my room's only a couple dozen spaces away. I haven't been in this room since the day we moved in. I was helping her carry her stuff in, as I recall. Back then, I would never have dreamt that I would be on such close terms with her by now. So, what did you need me for? You calling me out here was pretty sudden. I hold up my cell phone. For a come to my room quick message still on screen.
これなんだけどさ。
She points to the work desk against the wall. A portable induction burner sits there, on which rests a pot simmering with a pleasant bubbly sound.
レンもお昼ご飯まだ食べてないよね。私の追試の合格祝いってことで一緒にどうかと思って。
Well, that certainly is a reason to celebrate. What sort of food are you making though? Senpai, did you make this yourself? I point to the pot. Whatever is inside smells incredible. And as she says, I haven't eaten lunch yet. I left a bite to eat. However, I have some reservations. I know exactly what she's inclined to do, food-wise. After the farce of a cooking contest we had not too long ago. And seeing her drink that weird potion the other day didn't improve my impression of her cooking either. Though wouldn't it be nice if she were to suddenly show improvement in the time that I haven't been watching her cook?
何その顔。せっかくこの間のお礼に作ってあげたのに。
If it's not good, I'm still not eating it. I'm confused. What did I do earlier? I don't remember doing anything that deserved thanks. I cocked my head and thought, but I recall nothing.
この間私が腐ってた時に励ましてくれたでしょ。そのおかげさまで追試に合格できたから、そのお礼。
So you can actually study then. Oh, you mean that. The night that I scooped Shigeru out of the jaws of death. Not that it seemed to faze him, he was right back to his usual self in no time. I really don't think it was that big of a deal though.
私がレンにお礼をしたいって思ったんだ。だからいいでしょ、それはさ。
Sure.
さあさあ、そこ座って座って。
As directed, I walk over to her sofa and sit down. Is that minestrone? What the heck is minestrone? I see plums of vapor rise up from the red, tomatoey contents of the pot. The room is filled with a bouquet of tomato and consomme. I notice a few medium-sized chunks of vegetables in there too. Those ingredients were unmistakably for a minestrone. Is that how you say that word? Minestrone?
夏にあったかいスープもなんなんだけどさ。でもこれは自信作だからレンに食べさせてあげたくて。さあさあ、食べて食べて。
She hands me a bowl of this stuff and I accept. At a glance, I can say it looks really appetizing. But that's just how it looks. I know that I can't let my guard down, lest it be, for instance, brain-meltingly spicy. For an instant, the memory of Senpai croaking "gegeged" at one morning flashes through my mind. But I've accepted the bowl. I can't just say I won't eat any now. Here goes. Protect me, Buddha. I can't make any like eating noises when I'm not actually eating. Oh, it's good. Senpai, this minestrone is really good. I don't know how to say that word, so I'm just gonna keep saying minestrone.
何そのリアクションは。 心の底から信用してなかった感がすごいんだけど。
And I don't. No, seriously, this is some really good stuff. I try to avoid direct eye contact while she makes that accusatory face. Accusatory? In doing so, I wind up eating several more spoonfuls of the soup. The slight but not biting sourness of the tomato, the delicate balance of sweet corn and savory bacon, potatoes stewed to perfection, fully infused with the flavors of the soup, plus the substance of the zucchini. This gourmet harmony is to die for. That's a lot of vegetables. That's actually insane. I've never had this food before, but that seems like something that I would enjoy.
そんな夢中に食べてもらえると嬉しいな。
Seems like a good way to eat your veggies.
たくさんあるんだから、そんな急いで食べなくても大丈夫だよ。
I'm not trying to hurry to eat it or anything, but I just can't get enough of it.
いつも美味しいご飯を作ってくれるレンにそう言ってもらえるのは嬉しいな。
Yeah, I feel like he's exaggerating.
これは好きな人にしか食べさせないって決めてるから。
Oh, she actually wasn't done there. Sorry about that there. While I was focusing on eating, Senpai took the chance to sit across the table from me. She puts her elbows on the table and rests her head on her hands, smiling. I guess she enjoys watching me eat her food. Suddenly self-conscious, I feel the blood start rushing to my face. I clear my throat conspicuously and try to change the subject. You know, saying things like that all the time is how you got so popular.
そんなこと君じゃなきゃ言わないさ。
She shrugs her shoulders. Moments like this really drive home my impression that we've grown much closer. Maybe it's that relaxed, natural expression she wears around me. It just feels warm and welcoming, like she's not putting up a front or anything. When we spend time together, she makes me feel like I belong there. Am I getting ahead of myself? I can't tell. She did invite me to her room, so I guess I do belong in here for now at least. Even so, something does feel kind of out of place about this. I inwardly wrestle with my own doubt and optimism on the subject.
まあでも本当はレンのお察し通り料理も増えてなんだけどね。
Did she put something in this food?
これだけは唯一ママに教えてもらった得意料理なんだ。だからレンの口にあったなら嬉しいよ。
So this is the kind of food you ate when you lived at home.
うん、私も大好きだから何度も作ってもらってる。今でも実家に帰ると絶対に作ってもらうんだ。でももう少しのところでなかなかママの味にならないんだよね。
She seems more than happy to talk about it. She must really love her mother. That much is easy for me to tell. You get along well with your mother, don't you?
うん、すごく尊敬してる。親としても人としても。もちろんパパも仲いいよ。構われすぎてちょっとうざい時もあるけど。
With a daughter at your age, I can see why he would. Learning more about Senpai's life at home brings a smile on my face. All my condolences to her father for the way she behaves, though. But with a daughter as beautiful as her, I can understand why he might dote on her. I spoil Emmy, that's for sure, so I have no right to criticize. And so that's why you want to inherit the family business.
でも私はバカだから資格が取れるかわからないけどね。そもそも今のままじゃ両親も認めてくれそうもないし。
She tilts her head and grimaces. Her hands are raised in a what can I do kind of pose. But you still want to be a pharmacist despite that, don't you? What is it that makes you want to become one so badly? There must be a profession that would suit you better. You know, like modeling, or maybe being an athlete.
合う合わないで言えばあるかもしれないけどね。でも私はずっと両親と同じ仕事に就きたいって思ってたから、人を笑顔にできる仕事って本当に素晴らしいものなんだよ。
Being a witch is a job to make people happy? She smiles again, though this time it's tinged with mild anxiety. Still, her tone sounds as sure as ever. I mean, if you're actually working to make people happy, that's kind of nice, yeah? That's definitely a feeling that not a lot of people would be able to do. Or not a job that people would be able to do. It's a feeling that people would understand. But reality-wise, not a lot of people actually do that, you know?
小さい頃は今よりも何もわからなかったから、両親がたくさんの人を笑顔にしてるのを見て、本当に魔法みたいって思ってたんだ。だから私もってね。動機はそんな単純なものだったんだけど。
She breathes a sigh and looks down into her mug of tea. I remain silent and wait for her to continue.
でもいろいろと勉強していくうちに分かってきてさ。
You're dumb?
新しい治療薬ができれば目の前の人たちだけじゃなくて、自分の手の届かない範囲、世界中の人たちが笑顔になってくれるんだって。
I mean, I guess.
それは自分の人生をかけるに値することだってね。
That's actually pretty admirable.
ちょっとかっこつけすぎかもしれないけど、
Nothing wrong with that.
でも本当にそう思ったから、私はこの道に進みたいって思ったんだ。
She shyly grins and pokes out her tongue. Her usual demeanor is pretty cool in and of itself. But I have to say, it's pretty cool when she just acts naturally like this too. Now I'm even more convinced that model work would be perfect for her. I can't help but think that would be nice to see. You're a really cool person, you know that? I don't know anything about making medicine or stuff like that. But I know that it would be a privilege to have someone like you around to rely on for help. I try to tell her what I think in the plainest terms I can.
そうかな。
That's actually not what I'm thinking, but okay, whatever you say, Ren.
いや、でもそれは理想論っていうか、あくまで目標っていうか。
See what I'm talking about though? Ren is always like flattering people, right? And I feel like that's actually, that's something that not a lot of people actually do unless it's calculated. Ren is not smart, so he's definitely not calculating, but in the real world, people who do shit like this, they're very calculating. They're very manipulative.
そうありたいなって思ってるだけっていうか、そうなれたらって思ってるだけっていうか。
Flustered, her eyes dart left and right. What I'm trying to say is that if you guys are in Ren's shoes, if you guys don't act the way Ren acts, you guys are not getting laid by these girls. Right? If I were to actually be in Ren's shoes and I say whatever I'm thinking to these girls, none of the girls would actually want to bang me. Is what I'm trying to say, guys. This works because Ren is a lovable idiot that's unrealistic. Jittery with embarrassment, she tries to look back at me.
本当にレンは本当にそう思う？思ってくれる？
Wait, what did I say?
バックログだよ。
Oh yeah, we're flattering him. We're flattering her. Right. Do you think I'd lie about that? I said all that because I truly believe it.
そうなんだ。本当にそう思っただけなんだ。嬉しいな。自分のバカみたいな夢とか本心を笑わないでもらえるって。
I mean, I take you seriously too, Miyabi, but I'm not someone who's gonna, like, you know, encourage you to do what you're doing. I'm actually someone who actually will make you think. Are you actually doing this, like, correctly? Will you not regret what you're doing? I'm gonna give you, like, the facts of the matter, you know, the reality of the matter. What you need to do to progress to your dream. Instead of, you know, empty promises or empty flattery that Ren is giving her. I find it hard to believe that anyone would think to laugh at such a wonderful ideal. But I can see why some might, now that I remember what she told me before. I want to make the strongest love potion in the world. If anyone else heard that, they might misunderstand her intentions. Maybe it's already happened to her before. In fact, I'm willing to bet it has. Knowing that it's entirely possible, it's kinda hard to reply. However, I refuse to believe that anyone would dare laugh at such a fantastic goal. At least that's what I think. Again, honesty is the best policy.
なんだよもう、年下の男の子のくせに生意気。そんな風 に年上のお姉さんを喜ばせたって何も出ないぞ。
It's clearly working though. A lot of people actually do enjoy being flattered, even though they say they don't like it. Me, it's the opposite. As I said, if people actually compliment me or flatter me, I get on the defensive. Like I start thinking, what the hell does this guy want from me? I'm not a good person, guys. I live in a very not good place. I grew up like mentally unhealthy, okay? I don't trust a lot of people. But this is how I am, and I refuse to change. Because I truly believe that not a lot of people in this world are actual good people.
もう熱い、顔が熱いな。変な汗出ちゃうじゃないか。
She overtly fans her face as if she's overheating. And indeed, her beet red face does give that indication. She's put on a lot of different faces since I got here. I like her demeanor and cool mode a lot, but seeing her all flustered is downright adorable. How odd that seeing the girl across from me get nervous makes me feel strangely at ease. Side effects of my daily dose of cuteness, so to speak. I reach for a bottle of water and pass it to her. Here, try to cool off a bit. Let's try to calm down first.
ありがとう。いただきます。
Watch this be some sort of aphrodisiac.
お気遣いありがとね。ちょっと落ち着いたかな。
Well, as long as you're not uncomfortable. I nodded understanding. Alright, let the H scene begin.
あれ、これって。
The H scene on this actually makes me kind of uncomfortable because she actually might not want this voluntarily, right?
ちょっと、レン。
What's wrong?
さっきの水って、どこから。
What do you mean? It was sitting on a table over there. I pointed at the bottle, which I already put back in its place. After a moment of looking at it, Miyabi-senpai's eyes grow wide.
レン、それは水じゃなくて。
I don't know how I feel about this H scene. Their chemistry is pretty nice, but the fact that this second H scene of hers is not really something that she wants voluntarily, unlike all the other girls, is kind of making me sketchy. Hey, Miyabi-senpai? I grab her shoulders just as she starts to fall over. What's wrong? Was that some kind of hardcore drug or something?
それ、かなりやばいやつ。
Seriously? How intense do you mean?
かなりやばい。発情勇気の薬。
Libido inducer?
数の危ない絶滅危惧種の動物の繁殖の時にメスに使う薬。例えば、オークとかトロールとか。
Orcs and trolls are endangered species? They kind of seem like the definition of virility. Who'd have thought they'd breed as rarely as pandas? Wait, no. That's not what I need to think about right now. What should I do? You have Ipecaxum? What the fuck is that?
いや、別に死ぬとか健康に害があるとかはないから大丈夫。薬が抜けるまで耐えれば大丈夫だけど。ただ、
But
すごく欲しい。
I freeze. I wasn't expecting her to say that. Unless I'm mistaken, what she wants must be... It's to have sex with me, isn't it? I'm not having sex with you. That's a logical conclusion, if that drug forces the user to go into heat. But even I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that out of the blue.
オークとかドロールもこんな感じなんだね。 しい子たちでもあんなに盛っちゃうわけだよ。こんなの辛すぎるよ。
If I was in Ren's shoes, I'm not gonna lie, guys. She said she's not gonna die from it. I would just leave the leave the room.
苦しいよ。レン、お願い。助けて。
She pulls on my sleeve, eyes full of anguish. Her cheeks are flushed bright red. Her eyes glisten, and her breath runs hot. I can't resist the urge to gulp anxiously at the feminine advance. Hot damn, this is sexy! Ah. Her beauty compounds the effect tenfold. Again, I swallow. I have no experience with drugs and stuff, so I don't know how to help you. I mean, if there's something you know I can do, I'll do it.
ごめん。一つだけ。キュってしてて。お願い。
She doesn't wait for my reply before wrapping her arms around me. With nothing else to do, I put my hands gently on her back. Oh, she's so slender and soft. She has such a nice assets, but her whole body is still so thin. With a squeeze, she presses her ample breasts against me. I detect the feminine scent coming from the nape of her neck. This is so sudden. I'm not sure I'm ready for this yet. Between the nervousness and the excitement, my heart's about to beat out of my chest. I didn't even need to drink that concoction for it to affect me.
レンの匂い。胸がドキドキして、頭の中がモヤモヤしちゃう。私の中の女の部分がドキドキして、モヤモヤする。
So she says, but the male parts of me are waking up to this at the same time. Why is it that girls always have such sweet scents to them? I think you live in unrealistic land, Ren. If they don't bathe, they're gonna smell just like any other human. My masculinity flares up, working me into agitation. I want more of her scent, of the sensation of her skin, her voice, her body heat. Every new action and reaction she has sends my head into a frenzy.
ダメ。これ全然収まらないよ。キュってされてるだけで気持ちよくておかしくなりそうで体中がゾクゾクしちゃう。
She's begun to tremble ever so slightly, and her breath is growing hotter by the second. Behind my back, Miyabi-senpai's arms press harder against me. Her fingertips dig into my muscles.
ごめん、レン。もう私ダメだから。先に謝っとくね。
Senpai? She doesn't respond. But her arms still wrapped around me. Miyabi-senpai pushes me onto the bed.
レンももうこんなになってるんだ。
Your turn it comes, Azaikyousuke. Yeah, I don't really like how this scene is progressing. So, if people are actually into this, like, that's all the power to them, but I already state the reason why I'm not really a big fan of this. If you actually need a nudge from drugs to make you do this instead of voluntarily asking this, I feel like that's not good. This is probably gonna be the scene where I don't voice act it, so people on YouTube, you guys probably aren't really missing too much. So no need to worry. All the other scenes I actually do voice act, and I kind of enjoyed them. Even the Yu one, even though she wasn't really my favorite girl, but this one just rubs me the wrong way. So for people on Patreon, hope you guys enjoy.
ごめん、本当にごめん。
Okay, we're back, guys. Holy shit, as much as I hate that setting, the H scene itself was fucking hot. God. I can't deny that H scene was fucking hot, bro. It's making me very conflicted. The setting was so bad, and yet, if you're just looking at it purely from your lust perspective, you're like, God damn, she knows what she's doing. I'm so disappointed in myself, guys. As much as I want to deny everything about that scene because of the setting, it's just so goddamn hot. But yeah, we're back. I should have just voice act that in the middle because I'm like, holy shit, just fucking nuts. You guys on YouTube ain't seeing Jack squat though, but I guess I'll tell you that she was masturbating and giving us a foot job. But that's not like the whole thing. It's just it's insane, man. She's a seductress. That's all I'm gonna say. God damn.
その薬のせいとはいえ調子に乗って3回も
No, I should be the one to apologize for getting you so dirty. We both bowed to each other in apology, equally red in the face. Miyabi-senpai barely even gave me any time to rest before she took me through 2 more rounds of that. Each time, I came all over her body again. I'm not entirely sure why either of us needs to apologize. At this point, we're just trying to cope with our mutual embarrassment through the cycle of apologies.
でもいつも自分で試した時は収めるのが大変なんだけど
So you do take that stuff from time to time? I thought that was the first time because you said, so this is how orcs and trolls feel when they take this stuff.
レンのおかげで
Oh.
今までで一番気持ちよかった
Yeah. That's how they're gonna try to gloss this over. Yeah, it's kind of consensual, guys. Yeah. Whatever, man. The scene was hot. I don't care. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. She plays with a strand of her hair, winding it around her with her finger. Winding it around her finger. There we go. She looks up at me in a way that reminds me immediately of her post-orgasm phase.
いろいろと試してると失敗した時とか大変な時もあってねこんなこと頼むのは恥知らずかもしれないけど本当に我慢できない時だけでいいからまた付き合ってほしいな
If this was still me, I would still say no. As hot as that was, it's just not me to do these sexual favors with girls, man. But Ren is a different kind of beast.
ああいや今の嘘ごめん超わがまま言ってほんと恥知らずだよねこんなこと変態じゃないんだから
Now, I'd say Ren is a hentai. So are you, Miyabi-senpai. That sideways look at me says it all. Not a trace of that prior coolness is there. Just pure cuteness. I'm not sure what downside there would be to that arrangement. Having these mature encounters is a perk to helping her keep her less in check. Count me in! Whatever you say, Ren. Whatever you say, man. Hell, she just proved what would be like... What that would be like through 3 consecutive foot job sessions. Well, I am basically an assistant supervisor for this dorm. If you really need help that badly, all you have to do is ask. I'll do what I can.
ありがとうどうしてもの時はお願いするかもとりあえずスープも冷めちゃったし温め直すね私も一緒に食べようかなじゃあちょっと待っててね
Senpai gallantly strolls over to the pot of minestrone and turns the burner back on. I've just been dragged along at her pace ever since I walked into this room. But nothing really bad happened in the end, so I'm pretty happy with the result. Whatever you say, Ren. I certainly don't feel like I have more problems now than before I came here at any rate. So whatever, I'll just roll with it. I sit back and let that thought settle. Meanwhile, I leisurely enjoy watching her work on the soup from behind. I don't know how to feel about Ren, man.
あずい まずすぎるのです。
Hold that thought, Tama-chan. I think this is where we're gonna end the episode. So with this
セーブしなくても
episode,
いい？セーブする？セーブしました。
having everyone strip is pretty amazing. What the fuck are we getting ourselves into? As I was saying, with this episode, we've actually done all of the first 8 scenes for all of the girls, including some of their backstory and, you know, us getting to know them a tiny bit, right? So from these initial encounters, I'm gonna say that Miyabi-senpai actually shot through the roof, and I gotta say that she's probably number 1 now. As much as I hate that scene, that setting, the scene itself was amazing, guys. Like, how, holy shit, they really just need to fix that, you know, the drug thing. About the fact that she didn't do that out of her own volition. That's what bothers me, but I guess you need that sort of trigger, I guess, to get stuff rolling sometimes in these sort of games. But, you know, I'm kind of doing this, thinking about this game in a more, not relaxed, but in a more non-lust sort of perspective, you know. I'm playing these games with my mind fully clear. But yeah, gotta say that she propelled upward compared to all of the other heroines so far. Emmy is still pretty good, but I do think the chemistry between these two are pretty nice. And Ren, in fact, also likes Miyabi in the first place too. So I think the route selection for me is going to be Miyabi, and then Emmy, Riria, Arla, and then you. But I guess they're gonna do something harem-y before we go into a route selection, it looks like from the name of the scene here. But with that said, I think this is gonna be where I end the episode for this one. Whew! This was definitely something, I gotta say. I didn't expect to like Miyabi-senpai all that much, but I do think their chemistry is pretty nice. And hopefully that the scenes will be a lot more consensual from this point forward. But yeah, with that out of the way, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Except if you guys haven't, Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. YouTube will be getting these episodes early access, except they're not getting things uncensored for people that are members anyway. But yeah, for people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member, because that's going to be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Well, technically 5 days for the next episode of, like, you know, Pankutsu Akuma. For people on, like, YouTube that aren't members, actually, you guys will be seeing this in 2 to 3 days. Tomorrow is going to be me recording some more Rika for people on Patreon. That's an exclusive. But at this point, I kind of just want to finish up with it. I do think we're going to be finishing off Rika next week, but we will see. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Where's my mouse? My mouse! Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys.